Um, that said, I would like to officially call to order the Tuesday, December 1st, 2020 meeting of the Bolton Conservation Commission, and pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, subsection 18, and the Governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. This public meeting of the Bolton Conservation Commission is being conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but the public can access this meeting while in progress by Zoom Video Communications, Inc. Members of the public attending this meeting virtually will be allowed to make comments if they wish to do so during the portion of the hearing designated for public comment by telephone, cell phone, or personal computer using Zoom. That said, we will start as always with a roll call, and I am Brian Barabee.
I'm Jeff Bryan.
Emily
William
Winter.
Payne.
I heard William Payne at the same time, so Rebecca Longvall.
Perfect. And that is everybody we have tonight, correct? All right. First up this evening, the Bolton Conservation will now continue the public hearing under Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Bolton Bylaw, Chapter 233, to consider a notice of intent for Century Mill Road, map 3.D, parcel 75, proposed construction of 3 single-family homes and widening and paving of an existing gravel driveway. Do we have someone here tonight representing this project?
Yes, I'm here, Kyle McDonald, Goddard Consulting. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the introduction. So as you said, this is a continued hearing. There were a couple of items discussed at the last hearing that we wanted to address for you guys. So last Wednesday, we submitted some additional information, which included calculations for the 2 depressions located in the northern portion of the site to determine if they meet either the state or your bylaw definition of land subject to flooding. And the other thing we did was look at new areas for the mitigation that we're doing, the flood storage mitigation, as I know you guys had some concern with how close we were to the pond. So I guess I'll just start going back to the land subject to flooding. So we had our engineer run the calculations for those based on both the state and bylaw definition. So the state one was based on the 1-year storm event, which we actually didn't see any ponding calculated for either of the depressions with the 1-year storm event. And then the bylaw definition uses the 100-year storm event and requires 6 inches average of ponding depth, which neither of them reached that either based on the report that was submitted. The average ponding depth for both of them, I believe, was 3.6 inches. So that falls short of the 6-inch requirement to make them jurisdictional under the bylaw. So based on those calculations from our engineer, neither of those depressions are jurisdictional under state or local law. And then for the flood storage mitigation, you can see the new areas that we kind of have hatched are our proposed locations for that. So we just wanted to, keep it on the current extent of the bordering land subject to flooding while trying to stay as far away from the wetlands as possible. So we thought that those would be good areas to kind of just extend the bordering land subject to flooding without having to be right up next to the wetland. So that's really all the new information we have for you guys. So I guess I would just open it up to any comments or questions you may have with this new information.
Sure. Rebecca, I don't know if you're able to share. We actually received some photos today from the abutters. I don't know. So correct me, Rebecca, we received these today or, okay. A few things. If we can, see, flip through them. Yeah, do you have the 4th one? Yeah, so this is one of those ponding areas, that one. Oh, sorry. We could go back one more. That one. That's one of the ponding areas. And I think that is, I have my map. That should be what, lot 4? Or I'm sorry, that's the ponding in lot 2 currently. And we had asked the abutters too if they could estimate a depth. And their depth calculations were definitely over the 6 inches, which kind of fits with what I remember seeing out there a couple of years back when I was out. I can't remember what the flood event or what the rain event was like before that, but I do know we're in a drought currently. I do know that was an average yearly rainfall, not a 100-year event. And I'm seeing significant ponding there. I appreciate that, I read through everything that we got from Foresight Engineering. It seems like you're estimating depth based on soil conditions and what conditions you're seeing on the site, which I appreciate that you kind of need to estimate these things. But what I'm seeing right now is a picture of reality. And I think the estimate's clearly off. The abutters are saying it's greater than 6 inches. Again, this wasn't the 100-year event. This was just 1 day's worth of heavy rain. And there's significant ponding going on there. I think your estimates are completely wrong. And I think we have physical proof that they are. I mean, they're probably a good guess, but sometimes a guess is wrong. And also, if we can go back to some of those other pictures, that seems to be like a lot of the floodplain for lot 3. And a lot of the area you're kind of creating as new floodplain seems like it already floods again with just a regular yearly storm. I'm not really sure this is acceptable as new floodplain. It seems to be functioning as floodplain currently. Your thoughts on what I'm saying based on the pictures that we have in front of us? And again, these are from today, from the rain event for the last day and a half.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that the pictures, I can't sit here and tell you that those aren't showing ponding water. I guess, we had our engineer calculate it because, we weren't gonna, wait for rain and go look at it to calculate it that way. We wanted to get the information as quick as possible. But with this new information, I could certainly relay back to my engineer as well as my applicant and kind of, present them with this new information and see, if they have any sort of response to it. In terms of not the depressions, but the area that is already shown to be ponding some water with the land subject to flooding. Again, what we showed for our potential mitigation areas isn't, kind of similar to what we had before. It's not concrete. We're not dead set on it, and would certainly be open to some input from the commission if there was another form of mitigation, whether it be not flood storage, some other type of mitigation, or if there's a certain area that you would like us to focus on. We are certainly open to any comments on that.
I mean, again, it seems to me, and you'll come up with different ways, but trying to wedge 3 houses in here, it doesn't seem like there's any place you can reclaim enough flood storage, and we're gonna cause flooding problems. I think 3 houses is a real stretch for this entire area. And especially, again, with the pictures we saw today, it scares me when I get engineering estimates that don't jive with reality. I guess that's the one thing I go back to them with is I think they're trying to wedge a lot into an area that just doesn't fit it, not with our bylaws and not with the Wetlands Protection Act. Those are my initial comments. Other members of the commission, if you have questions or thoughts or anything additionally you'd like them to go back to the applicant with, I would love to hear them.
Yep. I just have to agree with you, Brian. It just doesn't look like it. Just because it's there doesn't mean they should build on it. It just seems like that's an awful lot trying to squeeze it in. And I'm not sure what effect. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know about movement of water, but I'm not sure what effect the driveway is going to have on where the water goes, because that's like putting in a big dam, it seems to me. But again, I'm not a scientist. I just know this looks awfully wet. And it doesn't seem that I don't see the idea of how to get rid of it, to be honest with you. My thought.
I agree with Brian. And I think how you get rid of it is you reduce the number of houses you're putting on this lot. I mean, putting 3 houses on this is a lot to do to the existing conditions. And I'm still not comfortable with the wetland delineation. And I brought that up last time. I just don't, after going out there recently, for the site visit. I'm still not comfortable with what we have for wetland delineation, especially seeing what's going on here now after one rainstorm.
Rebecca, do you have any additional thoughts?
At the present moment, I do not, but I'd be curious if Bill has anything to weigh in. I mean, the images were self-explanatory, so that would have been my thought is, okay, after this rainstorm, what did we see? And we have our answer.
So I think, Rebecca, this is Bill. You can see after this rainstorm, we do have ponding and flooding. And it's good to see this at this point because it's been a dry year.
Right, exactly. Thank you, Bill.
Are there any members of the public here to comment this evening or questions?
Yes, Richard Davis is looking to speak.
Please.
Okay. Hold on. No, you have to unmute yourself now.
How's that? Okay now? Now I can't hear you. You're muted, Rebecca.
Yes,
fine, you're
we can
fine.
hear you now.
You're good now, Richard. Yes.
Okay, good. Just a comment. I went out there and looked at this today, and if you look at the drawings, when you look at the west edge of my property that abuts, this land, it's demarcated as wetlands, by Goddard Consulting. You have to walk pretty far away from my property line before you see any standing water. And at most, you only see 2 or 3 inches of standing water. Whereas these 2 lots in these areas that I've always thought were vernal pools, they're not demarcated as wetlands at all on anything that we've seen that's been submitted by Goddard Consulting. And yet they've got water standing that's 3 times what's in my property, in an area that is designated as wetlands. So I'm just pointing out the irony of that.
Thank you. I mean, Kyle, you see, you've gotten kind of our initial comments. Do you have any additional questions or anything we can be more clear on initially now?
I think you guys were pretty clear about all of your comments and concerns. So I guess at this point, I would just request a continuance and I can regroup with my team and, figure out what we'll submit to you guys as a response.
Okay. I don't think anybody has any questions, issues with that. Rebecca, our next meeting, remind me.
It is December 15th, and I did leave 7 o'clock and 7:15 open.
In that case, I would like to make a motion that we continue the public hearing for Century Mill Road, map 3.D, parcel 75 until our next meeting, Tuesday, December 15th
Yes.
at 7 p.m.
Yep.
Do I hear a second for that?
Second.
All those in favor, starting with Jeff,
Aye.
Emily,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well, Rebecca.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we have a short agenda tonight. Did people have a chance to read the minutes from our last meeting, which I actually read dutifully, and I did not have any questions or issues with them?
No issues.
No issues.
All right. In that
I'm
case,
good with those myself.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the minutes for our November 17th, 2020 meeting as drafted and submitted.
Second.
All right. All those in favor, starting with Jeff,
Aye.
Emily,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
and I'm an aye myself, Rebecca.
Great. Thank you. We are still looking for a volunteer land steward who would like to join the ranks. So as always, that has been left on the agenda. and it will remain on the agenda until it's filled. I will be placing another ad in the paper requesting a volunteer for that position. I left the budget 22 planning and review of FY21 on here. I had emailed the budget prior, just in the event that any of the commission members had any questions or any thoughts on that. We kept it level funded and then had maneuvered, I think, $50 from the vernal pool study into the ad. I'll have to pull up the spreadsheet, I apologize, but everything else was kept the same as FY21, just because of the current circumstances. And I believe we will be able to get what we need to get done in the following year, with, of course, submittals to grants to supplement that. We did not receive any fund mail, or really any mail at all, aside from new applications. And for the MVP update, so the Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Plan update, we have the website up and running. There is a link available through the Conservation News and Announcements, and also on the climate adaptation page. And that there's a data viewer and some other information that you will be welcome to review and explore. Additionally, we will be doing our first agriculture and turf stakeholder group, or excuse me, stakeholder site walk on Friday. So that will be, a recording of it will be available via Zoom. We are trying to work out how to have it a live feed. So although you will not be able to provide any commentary, we are trying to get it on Facebook Live so that people, if they want to tune in, they can see a little bit what we're doing in terms of the assessments. And for conservation property updates, we are still working with our TerraCorps member on the invasive species management program. They'll be showing some shorts with the Bolton Access Cable Television. We'll also be sharing those through our conservation page on the town website. And if anyone is looking to assist in maintaining our trails, we're always looking for volunteers, and hopefully we will be holding some work days if all stays trending not in the wrong direction. Additionally, just as a reminder, the last update to the governor's order does require masks to be worn, whether or not you are in 6 feet of another individual. So we do just remind people that although it's more Board of Health's jurisdiction, we do want people to be safe out on the trails. So I do want to add that as a reminder as well. Bill, did you have a comment? I apologize. I just saw you come in and out there.
No, I had no comment.
Okay.
Wow. Any other updates or anything commission members would like to add? Barring that, Christmas has come early, and I think I can go ahead and make a motion to hereby adjourn the Tuesday, December 1st meeting of the Bolton Conservation Commission. Do I hear a second on that?
Second.
All right. All those in favor, starting with Jeff Bryant,
Aye.
Emily Winter,
Hi.
Bill Payne,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Rebecca. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good night, folks.